Rebound taken by Iguodala. Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, 4-4 and go. That other getting old. We got Sam right in time. This is a sports octagon. Sports for forever and beyond. Spend it with Sam Ryan time. From the puck to the glove to the pigskins high. Share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. Down the baseline in the bleachers, or you wanna get denied. Yeah, share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. 4-4 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, it's 4-4 and go. Come here to cleanse your soul.
The Browns Super Bowl contenders.
Hey, listen, when we start talking about what wins Super Bowl, we talk about talent. The Browns, they have the talent. They have it.
Hey, all right. Sorry, guys. Hopefully, Sam has the mic. Can you hear me good?
I can hear you.
Okay. So, first off, thanks for joining us. Episode 31 of 4-4 and Goal. Really pleased to have everyone here. It's been a little bit of a hiccup for us, just so everyone knows. It's the first time we ever went live on site. So we're currently at Maple Ridge Golf Course in Ashtabula, Ohio. We're on Route 45. Kind of getting ready for the Iron Foundation golf outing. We've been kind of pumping that up over the past couple months. So if there's any hurdles, any hiccups, please let us know. You don't have to.
The main one particularly is audio. We are running with a very, we'll say bare minimum
Microphones.
when it comes to the audio set today. So obviously that will improve just as we will, but this is our first this is our first on-site location, the first time you're getting to see the Three Stooges together.
Yes.
So
Yes,
kind of bear with us when a fist fight actually occurs on the screen tonight.
On screen. So tonight, a few things to talk about, just so everyone knows, we are going to have a little bit of a shortened show. The only reason is we're out at the Maple Ridge. One of the number one reasons, and two, we got a few things to help our good friend John McCoy set up with before the end of the night. So everyone knows he will be joining us. He's going to talk a little bit about the golf outing sponsors, what it's taken to get this far, all that fun stuff, and another reason why we support the Iron Foundation, the 4-4 and Goal. One huge shout out I want to say is to Megan. So I don't know if everyone sees this here.
I mean, check out these goblets.
Tom's fiance, Megan. It's kind of hard to see in the distance. Usually we're a little bit closer, but hooked us up with that. Tom, you want to do the honors there?
Oh, check her out.
Yeah,
She's
4-4 in goal. Right now it's Powerade mugs in a water mug, but obviously they're not going to stay like that for long.
Nope.
But that is, it's neither here nor there. So big shout out to Megan for that.
Thank you, babe.
We do really excited about the golf outing tomorrow.
And you know what else is? If you guys are seeing merchandise and stuff on the show that you like these cups, the logos. So we're currently working on trying to get some stuff on some t-shirts. We definitely, for the fall, we're going to have some hoodies running around here. We have a really exciting project that we're working on.
Oh my God.
So I'm not going to give away the whole thing, but some of the details, it is going to give you an inside look at high school football this year. It's going to be a collective work of us along with some other people. We're very excited about that. So, just kind of asking people, keep your eyes peeled because, 4-4 and Goal, we started during COVID. We're getting up and moving a little bit, trying to get things moving. We are definitely going to be pushing more merchandise. So if you have a request for merchandise, let us know.
Yes. So we're pretty pumped. As you guys see, so dominoes are really falling for us. To be genuine with you guys on.
Yeah.
Meaning, what I mean by that is, last week we had the first head coach on 4-4 Goal. what we've been striving for the last 2.5 months.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So the other thing we've been striving for is getting on site like we're at right now.
Right now.
We've been wanting to do this. Obviously COVID's make things a little bit tricky, but we've been wanting to do this for the past 2-3 months now, and we're actually meeting our expectations pretty amazing. So big ups to us guys, genuinely.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
big
little,
ups to
little,
us.
little, little pat on the back, you know what I mean?
Pat on the back. It's really going well. I don't know, do you want to talk about Tuesday coming up real quick, Sammy?
Yeah. So we were gonna save it for the end of the show, but I think right now is as good a time as any.
Yeah, let's
I
roll
mean,
it, baby.
It's not my fault that you just, I mean, you probably let Owen open all of his gifts on December 23rd.
Maybe.
No, but listen, so very excited to announce, and somebody sent Joe Rich a message that we are on. I just got a message from him that asking for no show. I'm gonna put that on the top to do. But coming up on Tuesday, we are going to have the head coach of the Jefferson Falcons, as well as the offensive coordinator. The offensive coordinator being Brandon Hanna. We're gonna have them on the show, and we're gonna have a sit down just like we did with St. John and with Delgosh and Parker. And we're gonna talk Falcons football. We're gonna talk about schedule. We're gonna talk about dealing with COVID and how they're getting around that stuff. So
expectations for this year.
expectations for this year. Really gonna get a nice. I think it's safe to say the first people to get an inside look with these head coaches out.
Yeah,
especially in our area.
Yeah.
Right, especially in our area. I mean, who else is? I haven't seen. I mean, I read a little bit of the newspaper, the local newspaper, I won't go that route. But they do talk about baseball and stuff like that, about kids going on, but nothing was brought up about football. And if there's one thing all three of us are passionate about, in my opinion, is football.
Yeah,
we all love football in some way, shape, or form. So, not any way, shape, or form, some way, shape, or form. Just want to tell you that. So yeah, I mean, we're super excited. Like I said, we're finally getting into stuff that we really wanted to get into. We're going lighter on COVID because we actually have stuff to talk about, and that's why I'm excited about it. So,
Oh, hell yeah.
let's see. One thing I did want to let everyone know is I did a little reading today of the newspaper because they do help us out with some of the stuff around the area. But the Asheville Little League, they are going to be playing they're having a tournament style game with all the local schools for the Little League, or local teams for the Little League, out at the Jefferson area Little League.
It's the Jefferson baseball field.
Yeah,
I'm not
so
sure
the
what it's
baseball
called,
field, just so everyone knows, that way if they're curious or interested, that would be something, honestly, tomorrow I would stop out there, and I don't know about that, AJ. Like, my alma mater does say like.
So here's the thing.
Just real quick, so everyone knows, if they want to catch some, I think it's 10, 11, 12-year-old kids playing ball.
Yeah.
Some of the purest playing of baseball probably in the world, the Little League. They'll be out in the Jefferson area Little League complex out there. And yes, AJ, they do have a nice stadium, but my alma mater says different in every way, shape, or form.
There's one. Here's the thing. I think I have to agree with AJ on that. Only because Lakeside definitely has a more grandiose stadium.
Yeah.
It has almost a college feel to it. But Jefferson's field screams high school football.
It does.
It's intimate.
Why is that?
It's intimate. The fans are right there, and I think the biggest thing is the fans pack that stadium every single Friday. Every game I've ever went to in Jefferson, whether they're good or bad or in the middle, that community really supports it, and I think it's a testament to them because of that.
Yeah. It's community based and it's steeped in tradition.
Yeah.
So when we talk about any type of football stadium, like Ohio State might not have the fanciest stadium, like Boise State has a prolific stadium with blue field, everything like that. But the Horseshoe is that tradition. It's intimate, like you said. It's steeped in tradition and it's steeped in community. And Jefferson definitely has that, and that's what's so cool about Jefferson's field, especially. I mean, you could even argue going back Geneva's field when we were in high school. You know what I mean by that cemetery?
Yeah.
That was tradition.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
That was
You're
tradition.
Right.
You know what I mean?
They really relied so heavily on tradition back then because let's be honest here, that field was a dump.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask, are there any natural grass fields left? Does Connie not play on a natural practice field. If anyone in the audience knows that, let us know.
I think Conneaut does play on natural ground.
Does Edgewood play on natural ground?
Edgewood 100% plays on natural. Edgewood Stadium is probably the closest to the football stadiums we would have played on.
Yes.
Yes. I think they might even have a cinder track on the
Yeah.
side.
It's a cinder
Yeah,
track.
and I'll tell you what, that's a whole different ballgame. People don't understand getting tackled into those cinders really changes your life.
Yeah.
So
Yes, it
nobody knew the sidelines like Ashtabula players, because not only were you getting tackled into the cinders, you would get up to the sweet smell of fiberglass.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so, yeah, like I said, at the beginning of the show, we're pumped. I mean, everything's kind of like the dominoes are falling the way it's supposed to. We're working on it. So obviously we got, Jefferson locked in. We did St. John. New goals are going to be Geneva, Edgewood, which and we do have an in with the
Yeah,
alcohol.
we've got Edgewood on tap.
We got Edgewood on tap, and then hopefully we get Conneaut,
Geneva's
Geneva,
in the works.
and Lakeside. So
They're in the works.
if anyone has an in for us to help us out with those three schools, Tom's got working on Geneva. It is my job to go through Lakeside, and I'll start working on that here soon. But before the season
I guess this
starts-
could be like a proverbial the call to action.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what we're asking now is, I think Ryan is trying to contact the Lakeside coaching staff to see if they want to become part of Ashtabula's we're going to be Ashtabula's most high school football centric show out there. That much I can guarantee.
Absolutely.
With the project that's coming up and really just the passion we have for sports, it's really going to flow right into high school football. So,
100%.
we always talk about Joe Pete. We always talk about those guys before us that laid the groundwork. I know me personally, he's a huge inspiration. And I say it all the time because he really deserves that recognition. These guys really, like they said before, they had to pull teeth to get me on here,
Yeah.
but and that was really one of the reasons I did. So the foresight on them as well as those guys. So we're trying to fill in that gap, and that's what we're trying to do.
Absolutely.
So let's just buck into the show real quick.
Yes,
Have
sir.
a little fun with it. So like we always start off with COVID talk, COVID-19 updates.
Hooray!
Everyone's so excited. Let me pull up my screen. So I will say a little bit of good news. Let's see how this is working out. So a little bit of good news on my end. So my grandmother's in a local nursing home. They are still COVID-free.
That's a win.
I mean, so pretty pumped about that. Remember, guys, when we started this show, it was during the middle of the biggest. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Guys, need stuff for tomorrow?
No, we want to say hi. We are live on
Hey, if you want to say hi, man, go ahead.
Facebook. I mean, you're already on the screen. So.
When I wake up in the morning, my first thought is to stay off the beach.
Yeah. Thanks again, boss.
Thanks again, brother.
It's one of the owners here at Maple Ridge.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite courses here out here.
Yeah. Well, like I said, when we started the show, it was during the COVID epidemic, when it really, things started hitting the ground running, people laid off, not working, and this is why we continue to talk about it. Obviously, the past couple of shows, we've kind of lightened the load on it. It's just really a brief glimpse, some opinions that we have, and, kind of move on there from it. So, but as you see, 462 cases, 44 deaths, hasn't really moved up. But again, that big number that we're talking about more than anything is Ohio as a whole.
77,000 today, baby.
Yeah.
77,000 hot new cases today.
Woo! Throughout the United States.
No. Yeah, throughout the United States.
Right, okay.
Throughout the United States today.
1,200 on here.
Yeah, so 1,200.
Someone's wrong.
Yeah, no. So 77,000 nationally, 1,200 right here in Ohio.
Right, okay.
We have not been under 1,000 in over a week.
Yeah.
They have already. So one of the things I actually shared to my Facebook page earlier today, my personal Facebook page, obviously not here at 440 Gold. These thoughts are my own and do not necessarily reflect the thoughts of 440 Gold. But I did share something about to dispel a myth of multiple tests for one person being counted multiple times. That in fact was shown to be not true. So really, there is a lot more testing going on. So that's understood. The numbers got to go up. I mean, just purely based on that. The real problem here is, as I've said every single show before this, and I will continue to say, is the fact that hospitals are going to get overrun.
Yep.
You look at places like in Florida, like Miami, in Texas, like in Houston, they are completely overrun with COVID cases, and that's what we're trying to avoid. So God forbid, if you're going to go out with a large group of people, I mean, it's not that hard. It's really not that hard.
Yeah.
Look at this. Hey, I can breathe.
Yeah, you can breathe. It's fine.
I saw a really cool video today, actually, of a doctor who put on 8 masks and took his O2 stat, and it didn't move.
Didn't know. Serious.
Yeah, he put on 8 masks back to back to back to back, and his did not move at all. So, I mean, there are lots of reasons. If you have a true medical reason, they're great. As you can see, we're pretty much spread out here. We are a small group. We are not right on top of people. Everything we do tomorrow with this golf outing is going to be, regulated properly and all that. Maple Ridge just does an outstanding job of making sure that they are providing both a fun and safe environment to play golf, which is why I'm so proud to be here.
Right. Yeah, kind of going off that, Sammy. So it's not a secret, like the goalie's watching this. You guys know I'm the big golfer of the group.
Absolutely.
That's my thing.
I own clubs. That's
yeah,
it.
You own clubs. Ryan owns my own clubs. And my fiance told me to buy TaylorMades this year, so that was dope. But so anyway, what I'm kind of getting at, going off of Maple Ridge being fantastic at what they do. So no matter what, like whenever you want to go out and do something like public, like I really want to golf. That's my thing. You know what I mean? It's my stress relief. It's everything. I was very hesitant. I was very reticent to go out to other courses this year just because I don't know how they're running things. You know what I mean? You can talk the talk, but you got to walk the walk. Maple Ridge is the only place, and that's not disparaging any other course out in Lake or Ashtabula County. They do what they can do. They're doing the best they can. But Maple Ridge is the only place I have
Yeah, so just going back to it, sorry, we had a bit of a technical difficulty. Maple Ridge is the place I feel more confident than anything, safe, ready to go, ready to spend my money, ready to golf, ready to have some White Claws, and ready to just live, man. And like I said, it's not a disparaging comment to any other golf course, but shout out to these guys for doing what they do.
Unmute, you guys mute, and I'm going to stay unmuted because that way it's not so far away.
Yeah. Okay. I unmuted my mic right now. So
right. Is it echoing or anything?
I don't hear any echoes.
Okay. So if that's the case, then leave it the way it is.
Ladies and gentlemen that are the guys, people watching the show tonight right now, if you can just let us know, because again, we are kind of blind to this, what the audio sounds like. One of the things we're kind of struggling here with is a mic, and unfortunately our main cam got our main camera died, so
to plug it back in afterwards. It's my fault. That's just what let's just be honest.
That's all right. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. We've been doing it this long. We had a cool view there for a minute, though, didn't we?
We're gonna fix it. We'll charge, bring it back up, and right after the break, we'll put it back on.
That works.
So we'll figure that one out. So, but yeah, so COVID. I mean, it is what it is. Work through it. Be safe. So. Let's bring up one thing that has been a hot topic over the past week, and I call it the Football Club of DC. And what I mean by that is, are we doing all right?
Yeah, I'm just making sure we can hear.
Football Club of DC. So obviously we all know that the Washington, I don't want to say the other word, politically correct, and it is offensive, and, however you want to call it. But Dan Snyder, with the amount of stuff, the allegations that have dropped over the past couple of days have been absolutely crazy. So
listen, I thought you couldn't get worse than Jim Irsay. I thought when it came to owners and crazy and like over the top stories, Jim Irsay was the GOAT.
The GOAT. The GOAT.
And I guess Jim Irsay is MJ because
Yeah.
we've got a new GOAT. The LeBron James of crazy owners is Danny Snyder, baby.
Snyder,
All day
baby.
long, man. All day long.
I mean, straight up like an SVU episode.
Right.
I just
So obviously, all this is allegations. Nothing's been
yes.
proven. But let's be honest, it's going down a rocky road, a very, very rocky road. It's not going to be just something that gets pushed to the wayside and goes down, the way.
Well, no, unfortunately, you have allegations of, sexual misconduct. You've got allegations of
Drug
paying
abuse.
off referees,
Yep.
which is what's going to really land with most of the people.
But let's be honest, paying off what referees, because that ended up terrible for them.
Well, that's the thing. If they were,
It might not have even been though that he was paying the referees for his benefit. It could be he was paying the referees off to affect calls for the Cowboys, for the Giants, for the Eagles.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm
true.
saying?
Yeah.
To advance his standing within the echelon of the NFC East.
Right.
So the one thing I want to touch on super quick here is the sexual like I can deal with Dan Snyder paying off referees. I mean, if you're a piece of trash, you're a piece of trash when it comes to owning a team.
You know what's funny though is like if you're gonna pay off the referees, at least win.
At least win.
Like,
No
at
doubt.
least
Right.
win.
No, that's what I'm saying.
But the fact of the matter is, if you're a man in power and you have a multi-million, almost probably billion-dollar organization, and you have multiple men running this team, it behooves you to be a decent human being and make women comfortable in the situations that they're in. Because make no mistake, the NBA, the MLB, NCAA, all these guys are forward-thinking and they're trying to empower women. I mean, they're putting women as coaches. You know what I'm saying? In the NBA, the San Francisco 49ers have a woman who's an offensive assistant right now.
Yeah.
So the onus is on you to empower women, not take power away from them and make them uncomfortable to the point where you're exploiting them not only as a woman, but also sexually, and really taking away the one thing they own, which is their sexuality and their humanity. And it's disgusting that he's done that, and I can't deal with that. I will never get behind that because I'm a decent human being.
Yeah,
Paying off a ref, that's one thing, man. But when you dehumanize a woman or a man, whoever it is, you're a human being just like anyone else. And right now, we need to come together, not alienate.
yeah. So I agree with you 100%. 100%. All right, we're gonna switch over back to the other cam.
I think so.
Maybe. We need that jetpack to step up too. Anyways, so kind of going on. I agree with you. Even if your stance is not going to be to empower women, the very minimum, the bare minimum, should not be a kid. Treat them like they're leaders or whatever. But I'm not going to jump over anybody for not, putting a woman in a coaching position. But I will tell you that treating a woman just because she's a cheerleader is wrong. So,
You know what the common denominator in this is, though? Every single one of us in humanity has a mother.
yeah.
And most, I would say 99.9% of the population of the entire species of humanity loves their mother. So what would your mother say? What would Dan Snyder's mother say if she's alive? God rest she's not. She finds out about that. How can you reconcile that with your mother that, oh, I treated women as objects even though you were so good to me and you helped raise me? How can you reconcile that, man? That's just not right.
Yeah, it's
I love my mom. I love my mom. I would never treat a woman that way because my mom was a good woman. She raised me to respect women, but also respect her.
Yeah. Well, so I'm the father of 3 daughters.
Absolutely.
So I look at these things less through I have a mother. I love my mother dearly. So yeah, I wouldn't want anybody to treat my mother that way. But I know, if a man treated one of my daughters that way,
All 3 of us are going down there.
yeah, there's real trouble. There's real trouble. So like I said, I mean, you don't have to go overboard. You don't have to you don't have to push If you don't want a woman to be your coach, she doesn't have to be your coach. If you don't want a woman to be your referee, she doesn't have to be your referee. That's your choice.
Correct.
Not necessarily the right choice, because women are very smart and they're showing that in lots of different cases, they're the right person for the job. No longer the right man, the right person for the job. The barest of minimums is to be a good person and treat a woman with respect for that. So these guys, so one of the things that happens a lot of times when these guys take on, they take on this money, they develop a persona, and they become bigger than ethics. They become bigger than morality in their own head. And one of the greatest things I think that's happening, and it's secondary to the sharing of social media. It's secondary to how quickly information is out there anymore. Is you pick the fight very quickly. You do not sit. You cannot hide behind things. 20, 30 years. If you're a garbage man, you're a garbage man, and it's brought out there.
We saw that Nashville recently.
Yeah,
not naming names.
No, like it happens. It happens. It's happening everywhere. It's probably not probably. It is a good thing because it's different. Boys will be boys is only good for so much. Boys will be boys is like little kids at the playground being flirty or rough, and stuff like that. Boys would be boys. It's not a group of men prostituting a girl. That's not what being boys.
At some point, you're just being garbage. Boy, we need to clean that up.
The one fact of the matter, just without a doubt, is as we grow as a society, we need to reconcile the fact more that it's not about man versus woman or man or women anymore. It's people.
Yeah,
it's people. It's a society. Because the fact of the matter is we have all different types of groups of people now. It's not. Some people don't see it this way. I'm not pushing an agenda. Again, this isn't for our own goals view. It's just mine. There's not just men and women anymore. There's all sorts of different types of people.
Yeah.
And what we need to do is, even if you don't agree with it, you need to reconcile the fact in your head that they're a person just like you and you're no better than anyone else. We need to treat everyone the same way.
Yeah, I completely I agree wholeheartedly. Boy, why put
it's showing on the phone up there. It's showing. Let's give it a second.
You guys just bear with us again.
So sorry.
On location, trying to
make it work.
Trying to provide you guys some an old school
Joe Pigskin Pete type thing.
Yeah, well, a
Hey, what is this
VHS
that's,
recorder would probably work better right now.
I think I still have.
So we're a little staticky with the image. Let's let the image clear up. Hopefully it will over time. I think you guys can hear us pretty good though, just so you guys know. And if you guys aren't hearing us so well, please just shout it out. We'll see what we can do to make a change. But moving right into it, let's talk about some Brown stuff, man. Myles Garrett.
Yeah, we definitely missed out on some Brown stock.
Right, yeah. Well, Myles Garrett signed a 5-year, $125 million contract. How much of it's guaranteed?
$100 million of it's guaranteed. $100 million guaranteed. Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, it's junk. It's junk. The feed.
So the one fact of the matter with Myles Garrett is that it was deserved. It was a long time coming, and no matter what, at the end of the day, Myles is our franchise cornerstone.
Right.
More so than Baker Mayfield. More so than Nick Chubb. More so than, and I love him, that beautiful man Odell Beckham.
It's on me.
Myles Garrett is
on Maple.
our
You feel he's a dirty player, whether you feel he is, you don't think he's got the mental capacity for the game, even though he's almost genius level when it comes to education.
Genius level.
Um,
Paleontology.
Yeah, like that. They don't just give those degrees away.
He's literally
That's a
about to
little
be
bit better,
doctor.
Ryan.
He's about to be a doctor.
Yeah, like the dude's legit smart. Better?
Yeah.
Go check it out for this bit.
He is going to produce results that are going to matter.
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy, so even if Myles Garrett goes out and he's a 1 sack a game guy, that's 16 sacks this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. We haven't had a guy like that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I can remember a time when we were losing our mind over Jabal Sheard. You know, where we thought that was going to be our guy.
Yeah.
You know, and I was pissed.
Courtney Brown.
Huh?
Courtney Brown.
Courtney, yeah,
Brown.
don't get me started on Courtney Brown. Like,
Courtney Brown.
Courtney Brown is one of many swings and misses
Yes, it is.
with
Big
Cleveland.
time.
I mean, he goes to the school that I hate only. I only hate them. I hate only one other school more than them. Okay, I won't even say that shitty school's name, but they're north of Ohio. But he goes to the second worst school in the Big Ten, and that's Tito Penn State.
Tito Penn State.
So, I've never, you know, I don't give anybody credit if I don't like it. So
You know,
I don't
you
care.
know.
I don't care what you do. It took me this long to come around to Tom Brady, and that's because at some point I just looked like a maniac.
Did you, by the way, did you guys see former Cleveland Brown Willie Snead, whatever?
Oh my God.
He was putting on there. So Courtney Brown got his contract, and he said someone.
Myles Garrett got his contract.
Oh, sorry, Myles Garrett got his contract, and he said typical Cleveland Brown move.
Yeah, typical Browns move. And then some guy who's just he's like a parody account on Twitter goes out there and goes, "You were cut from our team, and we were bad." And he was like, "On this team, you wouldn't even be the 4th or 5th string receiver. You were only relevant because Drew Brees resuscitated your career, and now you have Lamar Jackson throwing to you because you're going to be good if Lamar Jackson throwing you because no one's going to cover you because they're coming up to hit Lamar."
He definitely said a lot more than that.
Oh, it was
solid
intense.
minute 45.
Well, listen, let me give you
Trashing.
Let me give you this much, Willie Snead. You've got Lamar Jackson throwing to you. Congratulations, because he's really not a great throwing quarterback.
Right.
But I can't wait until the pride of Ohio State gets his first 15-yard penalty this year when he absolutely takes your face off.
Yes.
Oh, the first time you drop a wide open pass like you used to do when you were here.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, it was just amazing to me to see Steve's comment. I mean, but how can you knock somebody? Well, the one meme that came out too that I'm dying was because the amount of money that Garrett got paid, he could hit. What was that quarterback's name?
Mason Rudolph.
Rudolph, like 247,
He hit him
2,000.
2,769 times and still have money
Right, left over. Yes, he could. Because of his contract with the amount of guarantees. So,
dude, how much does it suck that you got hit in the head with a helmet? The guy who did it didn't play the rest of the year. He got signed to 5 years, $125 million, and you might not make the team.
Right. It looked terrible.
Like, you got beat out, and before anybody gets on here and starts running your gap, I know we lost to a guy named Duck. But if I was a quarterback and I lost my job to a guy named Duck, maybe quarterback's not for me.
No, maybe quarterback's not for you.
This is true.
Myles Garrett deserved that paycheck.
Oh,
but there was another guy who got paid the other day, and he not only led the NFL in rushing, he led the NFL in touches.
That is scary, though.
This dude, 303 touches, 1,500 yards, second most touchdowns in the NFL. Derrick Henry just signed a 4-year, $60 million contract, $25 million guaranteed.
Is it 50 or 60?
I thought it was 60.
Well, all right. So
I believe
50,
it's 60.
50-ish. We'll just take it down and talk about it.
It ain't Zeke level. It ain't Christian level. But I'm going to tell you right now, that signing right there takes the Browns out of Jadeveon Clowney because Jadeveon Clowney is going to play with Derrick Henry.
Tim Seekinen, I love you for watching the show, but you have to understand that this is a family show. We will not have any profanity.
Absolutely.
We will have no profanity such as that. So you watch that.
Yeah,
No
watch
profanity,
it, dude.
sir.
No,
Tim
I
Seekinen.
thought it was legit.
No.
I'm like, what are these people saying?
It is legit.
That is
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's insane.
First of all, that's the dirtiest thing you can say. That's worse than the F.
Oh yeah, on so many different levels. I'm going to tell you right now, we're seeing an influx of contracts where teams are finally recognizing their cornerstone. They're paying their cornerstone in a very good way. They're locking them up for a long time, and they're doing it on a team-friendly deal where these guys can actually build around them for a change. When we were younger, they'd be signed like Michael Vick. Dude got a $100 million deal, 10 years. Yeah, it's a big-ass contract, but they were so cash-strapped at that time. Who the hell are they going to put around it?
Well, yeah, I mean, now you've got TV money you get to deal with. Here's where immediately I think Derrick Henry's a great running back. Don't get me wrong. There's no argument there. But I start to look at my own team and I think, how does that affect me? Because all things considered, Nick Chubb's a better running back than Derrick Henry.
Oh, yeah.
So they got to pay Derrick Henry this much big money. They got to make sure it's guaranteed money. We just gave a shit ton of money to Myles Garrett. We're going to have to pay, if the Browns do anything, we're going to have to pay the most overrated quarterback in the division. And he's going to want big money.
We want a lot of money.
So who are we getting rid of? Now, are we keeping, because we're not keeping them all.
We're going to get rid of Odell. We'll get rid of him.
Odell?
Yep.
I think that's almost given at this point.
It's a given.
Do we keep Ward?
We have to keep that.
What happens if Greedy Williams goes over the top? Then we can't pay two corners.
No.
Do we pay Nick Chubb? Then are we even going to have enough money to keep somebody like a Jarvis Landry around?
Well, Jarvis is locked up for 5 more years.
What about Austin Hooper?
Austin Hooper's locked up for 5 more years.
Okay.
But you're right.
Kareem Hunt. Let's say he has a monster year.
Right. But so you're talking about, so we've got these on, even with those long-term contracts with those guys, you're going to get to a point. Do we not sign anybody again?
Precisely.
Do we start? What happens when rookies need money? Are we?
Yes, it's a bad thing, but also if that's your concern, just making sure players get paid, you're in a good boat.
Well,
Let's
no.
be honest.
The concern isn't so much can you get paid, it's can you keep those players?
Right. And
that's a big
there
problem.
are going to
If you
be
can't
some
play
that fall
some-
to the wayside by all means.
If you can't replace them, if you can't keep them, do you have the front office wherewithal to be able to replace those players?
And
To be
that
able to
is
draft.
yet to be determined.
Can you draft? Let's say Odell leaves, right?
Yeah.
Which is a given, and I hate it. I'm gonna cry. You guys won't see me on the show for like a month because I'll be in mourning. But then Andrew Berry's got to nut up or shut up, man.
Yep.
Like, hey, we got 5 receivers coming out. Well, and they're all first-round talent. How many of those guys pan out? You got to draft the guy that pans out.
Well, I'll tell you this much. We would be better off for Baker to come out and absolutely suck for 6 games than Baker to come out there and be completely mediocre for 6 games.
Sure,
Because at least if he sucks, we bring in Case Keenum. I have a lot of faith in that guy with this offense that we could still at least be a playoff.
Keenum's only on a 1-year deal.
Doesn't matter. He can at least get us to the playoffs.
He's on a 3-year deal.
Is it 3?
3-year, $18 million deal.
Okay.
$6 million.
Okay, but even then, he's still not our future. But
No.
he's enough to get us into the playoffs.
Yep.
Okay, and then Barry, that's where you're going to earn your paycheck.
Yeah.
That's where you're going to go out and you're going to bring either. I don't think you're going to be drafting high enough to get any of the top level
You're not
guys,
going to get Trevor Lawrence.
but every year there are quarterbacks that fly.
Yeah.
Every year there are quarterbacks that fly.
Yes, there are.
What's that?
I don't know. It's probably a good point.
You know what this kind of feels like right now? The great Saturday Night Live skit. The Bears.
No, Browns.
The Browns.
The Browns. Yeah.
Hey, Sam, I was down in Cleveland, down to Crust Pizza. Saw my buddy Giuseppe. Ate a crust pizza with him. Down to Pierogi joint. Never had anything better. Oh, God, my heart's going to explode. Ugh. Ugh.
Oh, Lord.
God, I love it. Sorry, guys. I'm just having fun.
So we're going to take here in a couple minutes a quick break. But right before the break, I wanted to talk about it. I talked to Tom about this. Sammy doesn't know about it yet.
Oh God, here we go.
I have to bring this up.
These
We're going about the
these
Browns.
always go awesome.
John Daly Jr. So I want to know why no one has told me about this kid. First off, second, the reason why we're even talking about it is because obviously we're broadcasting live from a golf course.
Yep.
So last night, flipping through, I guess YouTube, Facebook, whatever it was, John Daly Jr. comes up on the screen. Usually I would just swipe right through it, no big deal. But this kid, at the age of, what, like 12?
Well, no, first of all, he's 16 years old, which means he's already taken out a case of Michelob and a pack of cigarettes.
Hey, listen, this dude wears the same exact gear as that.
Of course he does.
The outlandish pants with the crazy t-shirt. None of it makes sense. The one I'm watching him, he's got Star Spangled American flag shorts on. But this kid, his wind-up and swing is more of a bomb than his own father's.
They said he's out driving his old man.
Yes, yeah. Right now he is out driving John Daly Sr. It's absolutely ridiculous. But I had to bring it up just because we're at this golf course and it just made sense. But if you guys get an opportunity to check that kid out, I think he's going to be something. I mean, his dad was great.
Here's the thing about golf, okay? Golf is one of those things that you really, the more time and the more effort you put into it,
right,
like the better you're going to be. So natural talent plays a huge part. A huge part. So he's definitely starting ahead of the game than most people.
Sure is.
But most people I know, like us, well, Tom not so much, but like, and actually not you, but me particularly. I didn't swing a golf club until I was 18.
Oh, really?
So I know, most guys are starting when I would say what, around 13 is when they start
13 years
playing.
old.
I was actually like 8 when I first.
Well, you started playing that par 3 course.
Yeah,
at
a holiday court, a holiday
Yeah.
camp.
But I mean, that's where you develop your swing. That's where you learn how to play golf. But the earlier you get and the better teaching you have from the beginning, like, yeah, maybe he could be something. I mean, it's a better world now. I think he saw where his dad went, so maybe he's not going to drink a case of Michelob before hole one. Maybe he's going to wait till the turn.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Nothing wrong with that. I usually wait until the third hole to finish my case. But
it was that a case of Pepsi?
Okay, yeah, it was a case of Pepsi.
Mountain Dew.
Yes.
The lightning kind.
The lightning
I don't
kind.
know the purple.
You're seeing right now an influx of interest from a younger community in golf right now, but you're seeing golfers that we grew up with, their kids are now golfing. John Daly Jr. was introduced to golf when he was 3 years old. There's a famous clip on YouTube, if you go find it, of him barefoot with his dad on a tee box. His dad's smoking a cigarette, and he's just holding the club with his kid. And this kid winds it up, and legit, 3 years old, this kid drove the ball 110 yards. That's better than some grown-ass men right now.
Yeah.
It's better than me, for sure.
I mean, the natural talent's there.
I hit the ball at an exact right angle, so
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
You haven't
So
seen it.
you have never seen anything like it, I promise.
Dead away, Sammy goes this way. It's absolutely amazing.
I'm talking about my hook game is strong. Call me Dustin Hoffman.
Right, until he goes like this and that's up and left and right. He wants the hook right, just bombing it left.
I'm gonna go grab the point.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're gonna take a quick break, just a short intermission. We're gonna bring on John McCoy. He is the one that's doing the golf outing tomorrow.
Get the bleep button ready.
Yeah, get the bleep button ready, the beat button, whatever you want to call it. But he's the one that's doing the golf outing for the Iron Foundation. So we kind of have two businesses today, but in a way, but obviously we're at Maple Ridge and they're the one that's helping put on this show.
They're
So
the business.
yeah, all right. I'm sorry. They're the business of the day. Whatever. I hate you. I know. I thought I downloaded the image.
Oh, God.
I'm almost positive I did. Give me 1 second.
Live TV, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Live TV,
Well,
folks.
I'm going to train right most of the way.
Listen, it can only get better from here.
Oh, God. Oh, there it is. Hold on.
All right, I just got now.
Let's bring up the image. All right, so Maple Ridge Golf Course. This is our business of the day. Great course. Take care of it really well. I do believe they changed holes frequently.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They're not. They change the holes frequently. But
Stay
one
over
thing
there, Slugger.
I know for a fact. The pizza at this joint, I know it's not maybe we're supposed to.
Oh no, it's the
golf,
best. Listen,
but it is
this is probably the best pizza in the county.
Right, best pizza I would say in the county by far. So if you've never had pizza from Maple Ridge, stop in and shoot 9, get a car, do your thing. Grab a couple beers, whatever it may be, or a Powerade like we're drinking tonight. But come check it out. Maple Ridge Golf Course, wonderful people that run this place here. It's always nice and tight, ready to rock and roll, and they're always open every opportunity they can be open to. Let's take our 2-minute, 48-second break, and then we're going to bring on John McCoy for a short second half, and we're going to go from there. All right, see you guys here soon.
All right, we are back. Hold on, let me get this thing going the way it should. Ryan's doing the production behind the.
We're supposed to be looking at this.
That camera.
Yeah, that little camera up there. I know. We got a first timer here. So everybody, if you could, we're gonna welcome John McCoy here. John McCoy is the president, CEO, and founder of the Iron Foundation. He is also the man behind tomorrow's outing here at Maple Ridge Golf Course. I'm just going to listen to make sure, we can actually hear each other. That's a good thing. No echo. So, John, why don't you talk a little bit about tomorrow's outing? I've got two big dummies.
We're coming out. Thanks, live.
All right, sorry for the ladies and gentlemen, that's Ryan Cole, our producer extraordinaire. Decided he was going to get up and knock it down.
I didn't realize it. I apologize. So, yeah.
All right. So what do you got? All right. So listen, tomorrow we've got a golf outing. Actually, at the pool house, tearing back and forth around 18 chairs. There's a huge turnout considering all the circumstances that are clearly going on right now. But I guess the idea behind the project is to create public fitness access for folks, and especially in Asheville, because I have some help here, and I wanted to give back and find a way to, I guess, align with what my company's doing to what the community needs. And part of that is fitness. So I actually serve more or less in conduit for the existing health and wellness organizations that represent Asheville, but along the way I want to give something back, and part of that's put in fitness parts so that we advise exercise and fitness.
So let's talk a little bit more about those fitness parts of the day.
So basically, it consists of pool bars and gym bars that we built last year at Walnut Beach. We had our first out last year. Obviously, you guys were there. It was a lot of fun.
Tom had a great time, like Will Ferrell and Old School.
Yeah, it got a little out of hand. It was fun. I didn't know Tom was going to have that great. I'm really not mad at him. I had to throw away a pair of pants. It was bad. That was a real thing here.
Tom said, I had a great time. You know, Tom.
I'm not even sure if he wanted anything, but he was celebrating like he did. Nevertheless, I mean, so with the money that we raised from that function last year, the time obviously had a great time to put us at tomorrow as well. We put up pool bars and gym bars at Walnut Beach, so we can get a swell on down there. But next project is actually going to be in Smithfield. So the money that we raised from this outing, we're going to be having pool bars, gym bars, and obviously depending on how much we can raise, we'll put it in a few different facets so that people with different levels of functionalities and capabilities can also get in on it. But I thought it was a good fit because obviously it's an Asheville. It's close to where we built the first part, and it's around Smithfield where there's an existing track, so it makes sense. And lastly, it's COVID friendly. It's not a lot of people are going to be utilizing that, right?
Listen, they're 6 foot apart, they're outdoors. I mean,
can't complain. So my question, John, you said people with different levels of functionality can kind of take advantage of these parts. When you do this type of thing, so functionality-wise, you are in a much better physical shape than Sammy or I or Ryan. So you're a little bit more capable.
Ryan's crushing pizza.
So obviously, someone like you is a little bit more well-versed. I mean, you can use the full range of everything. So someone like my son, who developmentally disabled, can't, do what we can do. Is there any way that, you've incorporated, professionals or experts into that to be able to give someone like Wyatt the opportunity to utilize something like this?
Actually, yeah. So it's a work in progress. So what I originally started doing was working with folks with special needs to actually utilize actual gyms. Yeah. But there's obviously a lot of hiccups. Not necessarily like the ADA, just like comfortability with families and I guess folks that are not used to that stimuli in general. So we built these parts with the capability to utilize like multitude modifications. So like TRX strap, rubber bands, assistive equipment, so that it's something that can be utilized for not people that have limited functionality or limited range of motion, or people that are trying to play on Sunday. So that was like the kind of like a motivating point for building these styles of parts as well, because we have that I guess versatility.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
So outside of Smithfield, do you have any other places in mind? Are you thinking about increasing equipment, anything like that? Like, what's the idea? So from your end?
Basically, the parts themselves are actually like a setup for the services that I intend to provide for Asheville. So Asheville is actually one of the lowest ranking counties as far as the health is concerned in the state. And it goes as far as like special needs folks and infants to 65 and old. And the idea behind this is to create enough locations so that hiccups such as what we're doing right now with COVID, or the expense aspect with getting a gym membership and utilizing aligned relationships with them, is we have a public, there's no excuse, right? So in addition to being able for myself, like selflessly, right, to provide services utilizing these parts in a fashion that eliminates the cost for a lot of organizations, a lot of folks that probably can't afford it. It also offers an opportunity and allowance for folks to be like, hey, it's nobody else's fault that you're out of shape, that you're not moving, that you're not working, that you're not, your body's not capable of handling different symptoms, you're not in shape. But if we eliminate those, I guess, opportunities for an excuse, it puts it on us. So in addition to obviously running these programs, it puts the accountability back on folks in the community versus on everybody else.
So basically, by eliminating those barriers, either self-inflicted barriers, financial, socioeconomic, that kind of thing, it behooves those people to get out there. It behooves those people to get out there and do it, because the only thing standing in the way of it is yourself, and that's the biggest barrier to kind of get that. So once you get past it, you've eliminated every other barrier that you think of.
Right. Yeah. And in addition to that, I think even growing up, I had a lot of family members that were big time lifters, and so I think it was a huge advantage to me when I was like 13. My uncles came in and they were like, "You gotta start pounding the iron." Like, you know what I mean?
So why does Justin the way he is?
It's a different story. Yeah, God bless him. God bless him. But you know, if they said, "Hey, you want to play college ball? You want to play the next level? You want to be a dog? You got to train." Yeah, and I thought about that a lot. Like even when I was a kid, I always wanted to go to the Y and be able to work out. Like, I remember you got a membership. My dad's like, "I'm not paying $50. You have a garage right there. You know what I mean? You can do push-ups." I'm like, "Well, dude, like all my boys are lifting." So I'm like, "Well, what if we created the idea of the opportunity of having a spot where everybody can get after?" And I mean, obviously, it's not like weights. You know, it's not Venice Beach, but I mean, it's something. It's a start.
Yeah.
So
All it takes is to start. That's the thing.
right.
So what kind of went into you choosing those spots? Like
So
Walnut Beach to be the beginning, so for Walnut Beach to be your first spot, what was the process of getting? Not like the process as in the community, but your mental process.
my mental process for picking that role. So it was kind of like behind that. So I have no shame in doing it. I'm a beathead. I love getting in the gym, getting the pump, feel good, you look good, you play good.
Right, that's right.
Right? I mean, that's
WHIT.
Yes.
E.
It's Jello.
I mean, but still, I mean, I don't know. For me, I don't know. I guess it's a way to escape, discipline yourself, put yourself in a position to do better. And what a better place than the beach. Which selfishly, I do a lot of work on break walls during the summer, so it's like accessible. So I'm like, if I have to work at this location, I did this gym right here, like on the way. But in addition, if you I'm sorry, we're not alone in here. If you know you're in a position like Ashton Bueller where there's not a lot of access to these opportunities, like we mentioned, right? So like the selfish intent of like my service side of my business, it allows me the opportunity to provide services for folks in places like Ashton Bueller where there's underserved populations and underserved demographics that now have access to a place that they wouldn't otherwise, right? Absolutely. And so that's why I picked Walnut Beach first, then we're going to Smithfield second, and then wherever the parks in Asheville want to line next. And then I'm also trying to do the same thing in Lake County, but obviously Sammy asked me, to your point, what, like not the community side, so there's a lot of hoops and stuff to jump through, but it's really based, I think, on need and desire from all sides, not just the community, but the government and the powers that be.
There you go. So what's your hope for tomorrow? Obviously, your hope is to make money. Your hope is to everyone have a good time, follow the guidelines, But overarching, what is your hope to take from this golf outing and put into the community? Like. So say you want to go to Smith.
First and foremost, my first intent is to party like a rock star. I've been working on this for months, so we got a good turnout despite everything that's going on. So yeah, I'm gonna let loose. It's Friday night, boys. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a good time.
Well, tonight's Friday night, tomorrow's second.
You get it.
I know.
So you get it. So no, really. I guess it's an opportunity for us to rub elbows with other folks in the community that kind of align with our mission, but it's also like an opportunity to mingle with the community and get people that like the idea behind everything else outside of building the parks. But obviously, it's a park, so we're going to build another spot for you guys to get a quick swell.
So where can people find information on the Iron Foundation?
So due to COVID-related circumstances, we took down the website basically because there was really no reason to have it up because we couldn't offer our services to anybody with the social distancing aspect, considering if you're going to utilize a park like that, it's in a group. I digress. You can find us on Facebook at The Iron Foundation, right? Easy enough. And then at a time within the next 3 to 6 months, depending on how everything goes, with the climate. Sure, as it work. Yeah, right? We'll be back live at www.iron-foundation.com. Hit me up on Facebook. It's a lot easier. It's not like we're trying to get something for the community. So if you have a question or you have something to say or suggestion, I'm open to criticism. Hit me up on Facebook, or you can actually just give me a call on my cell phone, which is also on the phone with flyers.
So John, you talk about community. Your main thing here is bettering the community. But the one thing I want to take a moment and thank you for is it's not just the community of Ashtabula that you're impacting, it's also businesses in the area that you're impacting. So you're helping, you're bringing to Maple Ridge.
Right.
Of course, out here, you play out here all the time, you and I. But it's a good party. But the other thing is for a lot of the bullies that don't know, is John has been our biggest supporter from day one. He was our first guest on the show. So I want to take this moment on behalf of Sammy and Ryan to thank you for gassing us up and helping us get our name out there. We have stuff that's going to be out there tomorrow with the Iron Foundation for the golf outing. So that sense of community that you built isn't just to better the community's bodies and spirits and stuff, but you're also building something where businesses aren't just working independently. We're all working together. I mean, we're a very different organization, but it's all about that sense of community. So I think I can speak for Sam, Ryan, and myself when I say thank you for what you've done for us, because that's the dope thing, man. It's all about gassing each other up. And to go off of that a little bit, a couple shows ago, Terry Hecker came on and asking about donations for the practice jerseys. In what was it, 10 minutes, we raised $300. So Sammy used the phrase call to action earlier. That's right. This is a call to action for more goalies. If you have a business, if you just want to support a local team, we're still looking for donations to Terry Hecker to help get these young men who want the opportunities like John had, Sammy had, and Ryan had in football, like I had in baseball, to get out there and be able to play. So
I've said many times that if the costs associated with playing sports today, they existed 15 years ago when I was in school, there's a really good chance that I wouldn't have played any sports. Not at all. One would argue that I didn't play, but I was at least on the team, so I wouldn't have had that shot here. No, I mean, all kidding aside, like it's not, everything costs money and it's hard, but I think sports should be the one for free for any kid. If you want to play something, you should be able to play it. So even if you don't own a business, but maybe you know a business owner, talk to them about helping local kids. This isn't, you're not donating to some big national corporation so they can, you give them $100 and they'll throw $1 in your community. If you donate $100 to the Lakeside Gold Mine Club, that's going to allow a kid to have practice jerseys and stuff that he needs to play. It's direct. Yeah. So it blew. I'll never forget when the pay to play thing started around here. It blew my mind. They're getting away from that now, which is great. But there's still costs associated, and unfortunately, with COVID comes a financial aspect too. And one of the financial aspects of COVID is a huge cut across the board for schools. So we are, as a community, going to have to step up and take on that slack that's there, because you cannot piss and moan about crime if you're not giving kids anything to do.
Right. So it's not, you're not just funding a child's practice jersey. You're funding that young man being able to maybe go out there and get the confidence to, get out there and assume a leadership position that he might not have had the opportunity to have, which could parlay into future success. Getting into college, becoming a leader in college, joining a fraternity, having that brotherhood aspect to him. That hey, I I was part of the football team because of this. I want to give back now. I want to help make Asheville what it was when my uncles, when my dad, when my grandma was in Asheville, and it was something to be proud of. You know, so you're not just putting a kid in a practice jersey. Okay, you're putting a kid into a position to give him success in the future. So that young man or young woman, if she wants to play football, can come in and have that confidence, have that wherewithal to them to say, I'm ready, I'm a leader, and I'm ready to take this world on. That's really what it's about. That's what football really is. It's not about hitting people. It's not. Well, it is. You know, it's about hitting people. It's about throwing but the other thing is, it's about selling care. It's about selling that care.
Personally, question though.
Yeah.
So when does this money need to be put in, or when is Lakeside?
So I think we have a little bit of time on this, maybe a couple weeks. Terry Hammond's definitely going to be the one to ask on that. So
why don't we? I mean, I'll throw down $20. Why don't you guys do a raffle before the deadline? I'll throw in like $20 a ticket, right? So you do like 80 tickets. No, that'd be $1,600, right? So 80 tickets, and you do like a 50-50, that'd be $800. You do like in the next 10 shows, right? It'd be 3 weeks, 2 weeks. That's the time frame.
Chris Piltner says CP Stuff Grinding will make a donation. Message me details on how I can. So there you go, another donation.
Another donation.
Yeah,
we're rolling, guys.
That's how it's
about the community and stuff.
But listen, so everybody, we are going to run a little bit of a shorter show tonight because of we're going to be here all morning and for the better part of the afternoon tomorrow, going live, grabbing some interviews and stuff like that. But we would be remiss to go out of this show without asking John. John, what's going to be the winning score tomorrow?
You know, Shannon behooves me to express to you what the score will be. I believe the winning score, if I'm not mistaken, Ben Hogan back in '74. He shot an amazing 69 somewhere. I couldn't tell you, but if you Googled it, I'm sure you'd find it.
It was at Memorial Dublin.
Tom Place. Hold on. I believe a 1,500 will take the score tomorrow. And not because Bagger Vance was a fantastic movie, but because Tim Gunn makes my top 10 movies I'll never watch again. But because I think that the course is going to be a little too tough. Based off of the polish. That's what scores tonight. Everybody will find out tomorrow.
What's the biggest surprise you think tomorrow? Bigger surprise going to be tomorrow. Longest drive winner, the closest to the pit.
Dude, I'm doing a whole lot. I just got this weird bit.
In the back. See it here. In the back. Thank you so much.
Listen.
See you tomorrow morning.
All right. If there's a hole in one tomorrow, 440 Goal will donate $500 to the Lakeside goal line. $500. If there's a hole in one, $500.
But 440 Goal is Ryan Cole, Tom Roth, John McCoy, and Sam Torres.
That's right.
So
listen, if there's a hole in one tomorrow, you guys better be ready to buy some fries.
Spoken a quarter of pigs. Hey, I'll do one better. I'll do that. I'll do one better.
Just so the audience knows him in the background.
One
So
better.
no,
If there's a hole in one
stop.
tomorrow, excuse me, gentlemen. If there's a hole in one tomorrow, it will behoove me to do something insane.
No, here we go.
I will get your team, your entire team, your squad, tattooed on this beautiful sternum of the SS Rock.
There we go.
Your names on my ass. Deal. Done. Hole in one, it has to be verified though. I want, if you got it, you better have it on camera, brother. Because I ain't willy-nilly with it. So it's done.
All right, so you guys heard it in front of Facebook, God, and everybody.
Sammy, you got to take up 6 feet.
2 feet away. You're like 3 feet right now. 3 and 10, maybe.
All right, so thanks Facebook for everyone joining us. John McCoy ruining the show in its entirety. This is Ryan in the background. I'm going to say good night. Thank you guys so much for joining us. You three fools want to say goodbye. Go ahead.
We will see you guys tomorrow.
I'm going to click the button.
These guys will be in a much, much worse position tomorrow. I promise you.
Goodbye.
Rebound taken by Iguodala. Iguodala to Curry. Back to Iguodala. Up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, 4-4 and gold. That other getting old. We got Sam right in time. This is a sports octagon. Sports for forever and beyond. Spend it with Sam right in time. From the puck to the glove to the pigskins high. Share all your thoughts, just let it ride. Down the baseline in the bleachers, or you wanna get denied. Yeah, share all of your thoughts, just let it ride. 4-4 and gold. Come here to cleanse your soul. Yeah, it's 4-4 and gold. Come here to cleanse your soul.
The Browns Super Bowl contenders.
Hey, listen, when we start talking about what wins Super Bowl, we talk about talent. The Browns, they have the talent. They have it.